Hello everyone and welcome to this surprise live stream. If you're watching from the very beginning later today, then welcome. Today we're gonna have a nice live stream. My camera is completely wrong. There we go. Let me just get the audio and everything working. Give me 1 second. And we'll jump into some sculpting. I feel like sculpting today, so we are gonna be doing a little bit of that. Let's see. There we go. Cupid, how are you, my friend? Welcome, welcome. Sorry for the surprise. Well, I'm not sorry for the surprise, but I'm sorry for not letting you guys know beforehand that we were gonna have this stream. Let me know in the comments if the audio is okay, if the music is not too loud, and I'm just gonna post the announcement here on our Discord channel that we are live on our Discord channel. There we go. Do I know Tamil? Not directly. Is he a student of ours? Oh, Tamil language. No, I don't know Tamil language. I know Spanish, I know English, I know a little bit of German, a little bit of Italian, and that's pretty much it. I can understand Portuguese because it's kind of similar to Spanish, but no, I don't know Tamil. Sorry. So let me open ZBRUSH real quick. Let's go to racing here. So in case you guys didn't know this, I got the map. So we're gonna be doing the map thing. You will teach me? Okay. I'm gonna have Google Translate over here to make sure you're not trolling me, my friend. Okay. So today I'm gonna warm up because I got some work to do later, and we're gonna be doing a character, like a bust for a character. That's the word that I'm gonna look up for. I guess I trust you, but okay, so that's a greeting. Okay, so is it Banakam? Is that how you say it? Banakam? Or is there a particular pronunciation? So let's use Google to help me out here. Banakam. It's Banakam. Okay, Banakam. Banakam. There you go. NoPhonex says, random question. Yesterday I saw that in Mari, when they create a realistic skin, they use subsurface scattering pass. Is it possible in Substance? Yes. Do you want me to show you? It's very simple, actually. It's very simple to do subsurface in Substance. I'm gonna show you real quick how to do a real one, like real subsurface, and then I'm gonna show you. Actually, I'm gonna show you first the fake subsurface, and then I'm gonna show you the real subsurface. So this jade toe that they have on the files, it's actually using true subsurface, and what it does, if we go here to the shader itself, is that you can enable it and you can change the scale of the subsurface. The bigger the scale, the more subsurface-y the character is gonna look. So you can see here on the thin areas of the character, like the lips, if we increase or decrease the subsurface, the way that light behaves with it, it's gonna change slightly. And this is the kind of stuff that we're gonna be doing. So yeah, this is the true subsurface. The only thing you need to do is you need to enable it, and then you need to have a layer like this one right here that has or controls the thickness or the amount of subsurface scattering. So that's like the let's call this the true way to do subsurface. But the problem with this is that you do need a ray tracing to make this work properly, or a ray tracing engine to make this look work properly. So if you don't have it, let's say for whatever reason we can't use Subsurface and we're left with this, there are ways to fake it. So I'm gonna show you real quick here. Let's just get rid of the shadows. I don't like working with shadows. There we go. So let's see. Aditya says, I have your 5 courses. I have like 16 courses, but thank you, man. 5 courses is great. It's a great form of support. We're almost at 39,000 subscribers as well, my friends. So there we go. Pablotas9, ¿qué onda, profe? No sé si te acuerdas de mí. Claro, Pablo, aquí andamos. ¿Estabas en XP? Sí, sí, sí. Extraño dar clases ahí, brother, pero pues ahora sí que la vida nos ha mandado por otros caminos. Qué bueno que ya te gradúas este viernes. Ahí mándame un link por Discord de tu proyecto para jugarlo, porque quiero ver hasta dónde llegaste. Y de hecho, mándame un mensajito por Discord, brother. Te quería preguntar unas cositas. Ando buscando profes y quiero tu opinión de quién podría ser parte acá también del equipo. Meta 3D Studio says, hi. Abdullah says, Eid Mubarak. I'm not sure what that means, but if it means hi, then hi as well. So before I move on with the subsurface and show you the fake subsurface, here is the full screen. So I got, my friends, a map. So this map right here is a scratch off map. So I'm gonna be able to scratch off the countries from where you guys are. And my goal is to get at least one student from every single country. So leave me in the comments right now, where are you guys from? Because as soon as this, I'm gonna be writing here in the notepad, and as soon as the stream finishes, I'm gonna scratch off some of these countries. I know that we have students from India, Mexico, the US, but let's see if we get more people from other parts as well. So India, nice. India is a big country though, right? Maybe we can do like regions. Timothy Sellers from the US, there you go. Okay, so going back here to the subsurface thing, there will you won't find another one from here. Greece, there you go, man. Thank you. That's an interesting one. Greece. Brazil, Bangladesh, there you go. Got a lot of people. Bangladesh, nice. Cayenne PK, excellent. Okay, so this is the fake way to do subsurface. I'm gonna add a fill layer on the very top of the character, and this fill layer is gonna be a lighter color of green, usually like really like intense, something like this. You can desaturate it a little bit, but it should be relatively intense. And then we're gonna use a black mask, and we're gonna use a fill layer. Remember that the fill layer is a way in which we can utilize an image or a texture to fill the whole UV map of our character. And the cool thing about this one is we can actually look for the thickness map of our character. So when we bake textures, we get things like this one, which is the thickness map. And oh, the screen. Sorry. There we go. I'll repeat. So we start with let me start over. There we go. So we start with a fill layer, and then this fill layer, we're gonna select a very bright color of the kind of subsurface that we want. So for us humans, we would normally do something like a pink or like a orange or like a red, right? Like those sort of elements. And then for this kind of frog right here, we're gonna use a green, right? Because it follows the sort of like jade color that we want. It should be on the higher values of the elements, but you can change the saturation depending on how intense you want this to look. Once we have this, I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna add a black mask, and on this black mask, I'm gonna add a fill layer. The fill layer will fill, well, the whole layer, and we can use textures to drive this specific mask. The texture that I'm going to be using is the thickness map, which we don't use that often. It's not one of those maps that you use all the time. We normally use the curvature map and the ambient occlusion for like dirt and metal edgeware, but the thickness map is really powerful because it tells us which parts of the character are thinner and which parts of the character are thicker. Now I'm going to change the color here to a very like bright pink so that we can see it, and then we'll change it back to green. And you can see that the thickness map right now is telling us, or it's not masking the thin areas, and we want to do the inverse, right? We don't want to have this, we want to have it the other way. So I'm going to add another element here, and it's going to be a levels adjustment. In this levels, I can select this option that says invert, and it's going to invert the layer beneath it, which again, it's the thickness map. So the thickness map, again, it's a black and white mask that will tell us which parts of the character are thinner and which parts of the character are thicker. And that's what we're going for in this particular case, okay? So now we can change this back to a green color, okay? And as you can see, this is gonna give us that sort of like fake subsurface look. We can play around with the intensity of the colors. And what I personally like to do, because if we leave it just like this, you can see this just looks like a paint layer on top of the thin areas. It doesn't really look like integrated with the rest of the colors. So I personally like to set this up to linear dodge, which adds to the color, and look at that. And now we can play around with the saturation, and we can also play around with the opacity. So this, as you can see, will give us the impression of subsurface scattering, but there is no subsurface scattering. Like, it's not real subsurface scattering. I call this the fake subsurface scattering, okay? So that's it, man. That's my advice for subsurface scattering inside of Substance. You can use traditional one by turning it on right here on the shader information, or you can fake it by using the thickness map of your bake to get that same result. So let's see, let's add the UK, of course, to the list of countries. We're trying to get as many students from all over the world to put on our little like map that we have like over there. Let's see. Andy says hello my friend. Shanks says my dog just gave birth to 7 babies. I know the feeling, man. My dog gave birth to 7 babies as well, actually. Last month, no, like 2 months ago, or on the Super Bowl. Was it like February 14 or 17 or something like that? They're now in their new homes. We just kept one, but yeah, it's a fun, nice thing. So let's go to ZBRUSH. There we go. Everyone loves ZBRUSH. I love ZBRUSH. And we're gonna be working on just some. This is the kind of stuff that I recommend doing like early in the morning. Right now it's early here in Mexico, to just like get your creative juices flowing and getting your mind clear before a day's worth of work. So yesterday I was playing Destiny 2 with a friend of mine, and there were some really cool aliens. So I'm a little bit inspired to do some sort of like weird alien concept. So I'm gonna go forward here. And then I'm gonna use clay buildup to start blocking in like the jaw. Something like that looks interesting. In the beginning stages of the sculpting process, this is something that I cover in all of my sculpting courses. We always need to focus on the forms of the character, the silhouette of the character, and the proportions of the character. It's one of the best things you can learn as an artist. Like, what are the basic things that we need in order to create something that looks like interesting? Let's have the eyes be like right around here. I actually want to have like really deep eyes, so I'm gonna push the mask that's gonna be like the eyebrows. Let's see where this goes. One thing that I always tend to do, and this is another element that you need to be aware when you're an artist, we tend to do things that are very similar, right? Like we don't tend to go out of our comfort zone. So I'm gonna push myself for a crazier silhouette here to try to come up with something a little bit more interesting. Like, I do want a graphic shape, but I want a cool graphic shape. So let's see what we can find. Oh, I like that. Kind of like a hammerhead shark. Okay, that looks good. I like the sort of like horns that we're getting here. And when I'm doing this like thumbnail sketches or just like initial sculpts, I like to follow like the Bob Ross approach. Because like just go for it, and if there's like happy little accidents, use those to find new things and find new elements. We're gonna have the neck right here. So let's very quickly sketch some of like the neck muscles. And where we place the mouth is always like an important bit. Because it really changes. That's not that bad. I like that. It changes the characteristics of the element. So that's gonna be, it's gonna have this like sort of like weird jaw. I don't want to give it a like segmented jaw. There's a lot of like bugs that have like the cut in the middle for the jaws, and not, that's not really something that I want for this character. Like, I feel like that makes it look a little bit more creepy. Now the eyes, they're gonna be small eyes. Here's a tip, a design tip that you guys might want to know. Predators, by I wouldn't say all predators, but most predators will have their eyes, like us, pointing forward, and most preys will have their eyes pointing to the sides so that they can watch for the predators, right? So if you take a look, for instance, like deer, they have the eyes on the sides of the head, and lions and tigers, they have the eyes on the front of the head. That's a sort of like evolutionary like trait that's very like present in nature. There we go. We're doing the little eyelid right there. Should we give it another set of eyes? Like 2 eyes, like over there? Nah, I don't think so. Okay, so for those of you that just arrived, we are doing this thing where I'm trying to collect students from all over the world. So far we got India, Mexico, US, Greece, Brazil, Bangladesh, and the UK. If you are from a country that I did not name, let me know in the comments and we'll scratch it off from our map that we have back here. Andy says, I want to say thank you, Abraham, for all you have helped me through the year with your amazing courses, especially when my uni is not that great at teaching 3D. See, I don't know what it is with schools. I'm not sure if it's me that I always like to make my classes and my courses as nice as possible, but I had the same issue when I was starting my 3D journey 12 years ago. I remember asking my teachers, like, why are you teaching it this way? I don't understand. I don't really get it. And they were like, yeah, this is the way it is. And I always wanted to fight against that. So that's why whenever I teach, I try to explain the reasons of why we do things, right? So thank you, Andy, for your kind words. It means that I'm probably doing something right. Italy, Matteo Montani. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for your support. My best friend is living in Italy. He's Italian. His name is Alessandro, and he's living near Bari. It's Bari on the heel of the boot, right there. Kenya, we got Marcus from Kenya. There we go. Topi says, I only do hobby 3D, but I feel like if you want to learn, you can learn everything. Yeah, you can, man. You definitely can. Nowadays, education has changed so much in the past couple of years. There's still a lot of value about going to uni or to any like college and stuff. There is a lot of value. I've mentioned it before here on the channel, because people also tend to be a little bit negative about school, and I do believe school is important. I went to school. I went to Noman back in 2013. So the value of going there is the connections that you make, the friends, the sort of work ethic that you develop. All of these things are important as well as a student. But regarding information, yeah, there's a lot of information here in YouTube as well. India as well. Jaw Dropper Gaming. Kapil is asking, hello, which is good career, modeling effects or animation? Modeling effects or animation? That's a very like complicated question, my friend. And the thing is, there is always changes in the market. So sometimes there will be a lot of need for modelers, and then sometimes there will be a lot of need for effects. I feel like effects, there's not a lot of people in effects. So if you can be a really good effect artist, you can get like good offers, because not a lot of people know how to do effects properly. So I don't, for instance, I don't know how to do effects as nicely. So that's the kind of stuff that there's a lot of like market opportunities for effect artists because not a lot of people know how to do them. Let's see, from the land of the north, Sweden. There we go. Let's add Sweden to our list here. Yeah, there's a lot of openings in environment art. Here's the thing, like when you take a look at a game, like let's say, I'm gonna give you one example here. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which by the way, did you guys see that there's the DLC coming next week? It's amazing. I love this game. So if you take a look at the environment for this game, you're gonna see that the environments are really, really interesting. And when you take a look at something like this, you only have, like in this game, you only have the 6 main characters with you pretty much all the time. So the amount of characters or creatures that are in the game, even though it's high, it's not as high as the amount of work and thing that needs to be done for the whole environment, right? So that's why there's always a lot of positions for environment and prop artists, because if you're gonna do a game centered around the world, then you need to recreate that world, and it will be complicated, or you will need a lot of hands rather to get it to work. Can you mind showing? Yes, of course. Let me show it. Let me show it to you guys. Let's go full screen. So it's that map over there. There we go. It's a scratch off map, and I'm gonna be scratching off all of the countries that we're selecting. I'll get another camera for the next stream so that we can see both things. So you can see my face, and you can see the map as well. Let me fix this real quick. There we go. Okay, let's see. I bought Huyon Spyron. Huyon Spyro. H1161. I mean, it should be fine. Yeah, that's perfectly fine, man. That's a great tablet. You should be like, it's gonna work just fine. When did I started blogging? Eddie Cat says, well, we started with the live streams like 2 or 3 months ago. We've been doing live streams for a while now, here in the channel. So yeah, welcome. Uruguay, Leandro Escobar. You're going into the map, my friend. Uruguay, nice. I'm learning animation at the age of 32. Is it worth it for me? Yes, of course, man. When I was at school, I had a friend who was 56. He was learning 3D at 56. So after I met him, it's like, come on, I got no excuse to give up. If this guy is doing it at 56, he had like grandsons and stuff like that. It's like, I've always wanted to do games and I want to learn how they're done. It's like, oh, cool. So yeah, there's no age for art. There we go. Dr. Manhattan. Yeah, he was older. He didn't look like it, to be honest. So yeah, 32 is perfectly fine. Bunty, welcome, man. Okay, so I like this character. He looks interesting. So that's gonna be the mouth. Looks like an older, like a gentleman as well. Make the jaw a little bit smaller. I kind of want to, there we go. Like it reminds me like a Golem or like Gonzo from the Muppets. Yeah, I mean, again, there's no age for this, my friends. Any age is good. Should this guy have ears? I think so. I think this guy should have ears. When AI will make 3D from 2D concept? Soon. It's gonna be soon, guys. AI it's an amazing tool, I think. And what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to adapt to it, because I've mentioned this before. AI is not going anywhere. So there, it's always been like that. I'm gonna give you a very basic example, okay, about like quality and AI and stuff like that. So, graphic design, right? Like graphic design has been around for decades, and you can tell the difference between a nicely done logo or a nicely done design and a badly done one. There's a lot of people that say that they can do graphic design and it's not really, and they just know how to do pretty pictures, right? So now with tools like Canva and things like that, everyone can do a logo, like a simple logo. But the thing is, there's a market. Like big companies, big studios will always hire a graphic designer to do a really memorable, strong logo. The person who's opening like a small little business, or they're just starting, they're going to be using these tools. So the same thing is going to happen for 3D. Big studios will still use artists, and they will use AI to help those artists make amazing things, but there will always be small studios, indie studios, that will be using AI and automated tools to get their product out. And it's fine. It's fine. The thing that we need to be very careful about is not to hurt anyone, like not to steal anyone's work, and learn how to use those tools to help us. I did a video recently about some neural filters that are inside the Photoshop that are really, really good. And that's the kind of stuff that, I mean, it's also artificial intelligence. So it might not seem like we're hurting anyone, but there might be someone out there who just lost their job because now you can do it with Photoshop, like the photo restoration and things. So that's why I'm saying that you always need to find a balance, an ethical balance of how we use the tools. But people said the same things about like photography when Photoshop and digital cameras came around, and then you can still hire a photographer. People said the same thing about sculpting, like no one's gonna sculpt traditionally anymore, everyone's gonna be using ZBRUSH. Well, I know really famous sculptors that use ZBRUSH for their workflow. They do it in ZBRUSH and then 3D print it, and then they do like their bronze like modeling, or the bronze like what's the word, like the bronze replicas and stuff like that. So it's just a tool. We as the artists, we need to decide how we use that specific tool. Okay, let's see. By any chance your stream started at a nice, by chance, oh, Fong says, by chance your stream started at a nice time in Vietnam. Well, my friend, let me tell you that Vietnam was not on the list, so I'm gonna add it to our list of students from the world. Vietnam, nice. When, hey, I was wondering, where's the other tutor, Mr. Nalini Kenta? Mr. Nalini Kenta has jumped into a more administrative role. He's the one in charge of making all of the deals so that you guys can get our courses in Udemy, in ArtStation, through other sponsors and things. So he's taking a little bit of a slightly different business approach. I'm in charge of the instructors and the courses. He's in charge of the business. Kapil says, I mean, there's nothing holding you up from learning a new profession at any age, but it gets harder because when we get older, there's more commitment. Yeah, that's definitely it, Topi. Like if I wanted to make a career change, which I'm not thinking about, I would need to think about my family, right? I have a small daughter and my wife, of course, and like that would be something that I would need to, of course, evaluate. There we go. Looks like some alien from Mass Effect. Yeah, that's. I was telling people that I was playing Destiny 2 yesterday. I got the expansion because a friend of mine plays it, and we wanted to play together. And I'm inspired to do an alien-like creature. I haven't done an alien in a while, and I use these aliens later for like demos where I teach people how to do like retopology or texturing. So it's always good to have a backup. So if you're just joining and I have not mentioned your country, let me know, because we are trying to find students from all over the world. So far we got India. Oh my god. So far we got India, Mexico, USA, Greece, Brazil, Bangladesh, UK, Italy, Kenya, Sweden, Uruguay, and Vietnam. Oh god. Bishal, how are you doing? Greece, there we go. We got another one from Greece. And North Macedonia. Nice. Let's write it down. North Macedonia. Do we have anyone from Scotland? Scotland. That would be a nice one. I know Scotland is part of the UK. I'm not that ignorant. Ukraine. There we go. FPX 96. We got someone from Ukraine. Australia. Spain. Nice. Yeah, Spain was not mentioned before. Saludos a España. La madre patria, como le decimos aquí en México. There we go. Cool. So let's make him a little bit bulkier on the back. So I'm gonna add a little bit of volume here. And there we go. Do I have any XGen tutorials, Sayan Haldar? Yes, we go over XGen on the advanced character texturing course, Thyros. You guys remember that tiefling? Yeah, I do have like students from every continent, but I want to see if I can get students from every country. And that's why I got this map right here. It's not visible right now, but there's a scratch off map over there. And I want to use that to keep a tally. This one. So in this one, where are you, Sayan? In this advanced texture character creation course, I go over XGen for the beard and for other like fur patches on the character. I think this one could be a good one for that. And we go over a lot of different things like texturings and stuff. It seems like at least here in Mexico we got discounts going on. So if you guys want to check Udemy, I'll leave you the link right here in the chat real quick. There we go. Argentina. I'm gonna mark Argentina. I'm gonna mark your origin country, Argentina. We're gonna have to find someone from Lithuania. Can USD format store constraints? That's a great question. I don't use USD format as much. That format is used a little bit more in like big studios. For small studios, it's of course useful, but we haven't really used it as much. I'm not sure. I don't think it could, because the USD thing is a little bit more universal, and if there's something that you can't translate into another software, then the USD format might not be able to save it. That's why it's very difficult to transfer a rig from Maya to like Blender and stuff. Jai is asking, which would you use for a hard surface model, Blender or ZBRUSH? It depends. I use Maya a little bit more than Blender. I use Blender as well, but I use Maya quite a bit. So if I had to do like on the character that I'm doing right now for the course, which by the way is going to be releasing next week. Next week we're going to have my new course, which is the sci-fi character modeling and sculpting course. I use both. I use a little bit of ZBRUSH and I use a little bit of Maya for different parts. Croatia, we got Zvarnov from Croatia. You're welcome, man. You like that course? That one was on December. If you want to go a little bit deeper into the what's the word? Into the process of creating a like game ready character, we do have courses in Udemy where I go over more detail over those things. I have some questions regarding my art station. Can you please give me some opinion? We'll leave that for tomorrow, Aryan, okay? We'll do a little bit of portfolio review tomorrow. I'm gonna do another live stream tomorrow, by the way, guys. Same time, or roughly the same time. It's gonna be 9:30 a.m. for Mexico. So if you guys want to check it out, make sure to hit the like and the little bell icon so that you get the notification. And we also have the Discord channel. I feel like I'm doing a lot of commercials right now, but I do want to invite you guys. So if you guys want to jump into the Discord channel, that's the link. Here we share all the information about our courses. There's like questions that can be answered and stuff like that. Oh, well, the tiny facial hair, it follows pretty much the same process. Dreadlocks, that's a little bit more complicated. I'm not sure how I would do that. That's a great question. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research because I'm actually not sure how I would do dreadlocks myself. Can't you create a full game ready character using only Maya? Matteo Montani says, yes, of course. It might not have as the same amount of detail that you might expect from like a AAA character that you get from like ZBRUSH and stuff, but you can definitely do it only with Maya. And that's one of the things that I've been mentioning. Like, there's so many games out there that are not as complex from a technical standpoint or from artistic standpoint, and they're still great games. There was this Fox like Tunic. There we go. So there was this game that was released last year, I think, or 2 years ago. Tunic game. And I was surprised by the simplicity. Look at this. like the art itself, like the characters, the models, it's very low poly. Like you can do every single thing that you're seeing on this game in Maya or in Blender. Like it's a super, look at that character. Like it sounds funny, right? Because we're spending a lot of time like on this like super complex character right here, and then we take a look at this little octopus that just has a couple of extrusions and that's it. It works. Like you don't need to do a super high complex character to make a game that's charming and that's successful and that's amazing. I think it won a couple of prizes as well because it's like a very difficult game. So the level of technical detail or the level of detail is not necessarily attached to the level of success or the level of like perfection that your game will have. And I want to add some lines here. There we go. Yeah, so I think from a graphic standpoint, this guy looks like a tanky, strong character, and I like this sort of like hammerhead shark that we gave him. Let's do a little bit of train dynamic here. I started modeling in Blender and it's so much fun. My workflow is faster than in Maya. Yeah, and that's the thing. Once you get into like a studio environment or a freelance like flow, the most important thing it's which software you're faster or more efficient at. So I've had a lot of students over the years recommend that I switch to like 3D Studio Max or Houdini and stuff, but I always need to make an assessment of how long is it gonna take me to get to the level that I have in Maya, for instance, or in ZBRUSH, versus how much time is it actually gonna save me. Because if it's gonna take me like 1 year to get the proficiency and it's only gonna save me like 10% of efficiency or 20% of efficiency, it might not be worth it, right? So at the end of the day, remember guys, softwares are just that. They're tools, they're softwares, they're really helpful, but they're not like, it's not a competition. The competition is on the final result. So it doesn't really matter how you get, like the clients don't care how you get to the result, as long as you get to the result, right? So just keep that in mind. Rather, I like to keep that in mind myself. Let's see. Ariane, no, another review, just a recommendation about what should I do with my old stuff. Send me a link on Discord, and after the live stream, I'll take a look at it. Okay, Ariane, and I'll give you my feedback there. Is cartel still a thing in Mexico, or where do you live? Yes, unfortunately it is. It's one of those things that, unless you go into like the bad areas, like you're not gonna be facing it, or you're not gonna be meeting them. But unfortunately, yeah, there's a lot of corruption here in Mexico, and the government is it's not doing as much as they could, to be honest. So, yeah. How would you go about adding chains? There are chain brushes. I don't have one right now with me, but there are chain brushes that you can use, and they just it's just a spline, right? So it's like this one's right here, like this. Like the curved multi-tube, so you just draw on top, and instead of this tube, you get chains. How would you go about texturing fantasy races with unordinary skin tones like green, etc.? I would follow the same sort of like principle that I teach in the courses, where you get your 3 primary colors. It's usually a warm tone, a cold tone, and like the base tone, and then play around with the contour. That's where color theory also comes into play. So for instance, if you're doing green like a goblin, you're probably gonna be using yellows and purples for the shadows and the highlights, so that you don't override the color. Yeah, this one is from my imagination, Paras. I'm just having fun. Let's increase the resolution a little bit so that we can get more detail. Yeah, I definitely think your level is good, my friend, Ariane. So you need to get your name out there, and there's a couple of ways to do it. First of all, posting. Like if you have a LinkedIn, if you have a Facebook, if you have a Twitter, just post your stuff. Add a little comment there like, hey, I'm a freelancer looking for any leads or any elements. Look for job postings in ArtStation. There's usually a lot of like remote work available as well. So that's another way in which you can get your first like a gig. And then look up online. There's usually everywhere in the world. There's usually gonna be like conferences or expos or things where you can go and meet people, because unfortunately, not only for this career but for pretty much everything that we do, it's not really about what you know, it's about who you know, right? So I mean, just to give you an example, Nalin found me on ArtStation. Like I didn't know Nalin, and he just contacted me one day. He sent me an email, and that's how we started working several years ago. So yeah, you need to get your name out there. You need to meet people, and don't be afraid to ask for like contacts and stuff. So the worst thing that can happen is they ignore you or they say no. That's fine. Just keep moving. We tend to be very, very afraid of rejection, I think, and it's very natural, right? Like humans, we don't like rejection, but it's part of the deal, man. And the more you get your name out there, the more chances you take, the more chances there will be that you land something. Where have I worked? Jay asks. I've worked as a freelance artist for the past like 6-7 years. I own my own studio. It's called Hyperlap. I used to own another studio called Critical Hit. Unfortunately, the pandemic finished that studio. We couldn't continue. But now I am the creative director at Hyperlap, where we create experiences for virtual reality and augmented reality here in Mexico. We've been working for several high-profile clients, such as one of the biggest museums here in the north called Museo del Desierto, the Desert Museum. And again, I've been freelancing. I did a commercial for Diablo Immortal last year. I did some 3D work for a very famous park here in Mexico called Xcaret a couple of years ago. Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. But and of course, I've been one of the main instructors here in the Nexttut for the past 3-4 years. I think it's 4 years now. I think I started in 2019. Pepect93. Hi, can I ask you one thing? I try to sculpt organic things, especially humans. I think I need to help with anatomy. Can you suggest something for the help? Yes, of course. So there's 2 books that have been my go-to anatomy references. The first one is Bern Hogarth Anatomy. This one is an amazing book to understand like the forms and the flows of the muscles in the body. And then there's another one that I like quite a bit, which is George Bridgman. Constructive Anatomy. This one right here. So both of these books are really good to understand the flow and the form of the body. And then of course there's this book, very famous, Anatomy for Sculptures, which it doesn't have a lot of like text information, but it has a lot of diagrams to help you understand like where and how everything connects. Really, really good as well. So those 3 elements right there, I think are great tools to have. What happened to the music? Where's the music? Oh, there we go. Let's see. How did it all begin? Jay asked. That's a long story, but I originally was studying medicine here in Mexico, and I realized that that's not what I wanted to do with my life. And to the dismay of my parents, I told them that I actually wanted to do video games. And they were like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure." They were very supportive, which I always will be thankful for. And I just started studying here in Mexico. Then I moved to Los Angeles, and I studied at Noman School of Visual Effects. And after that, I came back here to Mexico, and I started my own studio and academy where I started teaching. That's how it started. And the more years I've been teaching, the more students I've had. And then students called me like years later, and they're like, "Hey, teacher, I'm working on this. Can you help us out?" And then I became like a consultant, and now I consider myself a 3D producer. So I do a little bit of everything in 3D. And if I don't know how to do something, I know who can, and I find and build the team so that projects can be done. So yeah, that's it. Where do you get projects from? As I just mentioned, sometimes the students call me back when they're working on something. I've had the fortune not to have to look for work, because I follow the philosophy of creating your own destiny, if that makes sense. So I've always tried to create like my own products and stuff. Right now, on my free time, I'm working on a board game. I want to do a board game and I'm gonna be like doing. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do like a Kickstarter or something. Then at least I'm gonna do like a couple of copies and try them here with my friends. And if it works, I might pitch it to like a game board company or something. So yeah, I've always been of that sort of like idea of trying to be the master of your own destiny. I know it sounds a little bit weird, but I don't like sitting still and just waiting for things to happen. I like to take action, if you know what I mean. Yeah, you're welcome, Peppercat. No problem. So, any new countries? Do we have any new viewer right now who's watching from another country that's not on the following list, so that we can add it to our map? We're looking for someone who's well, we already have India, Mexico, US, Greece, Brazil, Bangladesh, UK, Italy, Kenya, Sweden, Uruguay, Vietnam, North Macedonia, Ukraine, Australia, Spain, Argentina, and Croatia. Create your own opportunities instead of waiting for it. I agree. There you go. Any tips for effective lighting? I'm struggling with it. Oh, dude. Popper's Penguin. Do I have the best news for you today? One of the courses that I'm most proud of that I've done is this one right here. Called the Maya Lightning Masterclass, and it's all of my best tips, all of my best advice to create amazing looking renders. Okay, character renders, environment renders, prop renders, everything that you can imagine, it's in this course, Maya Lightning Masterclass. We use Arnold Renderer. I provide all of the assets so that you guys can do it and follow along. It's 6 chapters. It's how many hours? 8 hours. It's 9 hours of like super condensed, precise information about this one. Okay, South Korea. Nice. South Korea. So I think if you're looking for like a really deep information about this, you can learn it from this course right there, from the cinematic lighting course. No, it belongs to Heisenberg. It still belongs to Nalin. Nalin is the CEO of the channel. He's still here, but he's on the business side of things now, and I'm on the creative and the instructor side of things. But we're working on this together, and we're building the brand. So he's still here. He's not the face of the channel as much anymore. I'll see if I can get him to join one of our live streams one of these days. I think that would be fun. But he's still here, man. Yeah, he works in the shadows. He's like the puppet master, like moving everything from behind the screen. No, we got like 5 or 6 people working behind the screens. There's another person you might not have met her. Her name's Jade, and she's the one who gets all of the questions from you guys, from Udemy and stuff, and sends it to the instructors, to us, so that we can answer. The team is a little bit bigger. What the hell is his name? His name is Nalini Kanta. That's his name. Let's have some wrinkles here. Thanks, my friend. We've been steadily growing for the past couple of years. We're almost we've almost gotten to 40,000 subscribers. My dream is to get to 1,000 so that we can get our little like YouTube plate. That would be really cool. We get like the silver arrow. But yeah, thank you. No. I don't. Startnov, I don't. Svarnov, I don't. I'm curious, how long does it take to create a 3D character that is ready for use in a game console? That's a great question, Vincent. Great question. So it depends. I hate to give that answer, but it depends. Like, I can make a character in 10 minutes that is going to be ready for Unreal Engine. It's going to be a super simple character, pretty much just like a cube with little like cute eyes and stuff. Or I can spend 3 months working on the character or more, right? So it all depends on the time, the budget, and the goal of the project. So some characters will take a long time, and some characters will be a lot smaller. We did a series, if you want to check it out, Vincent. It's called Game Ready Minion or something. It's on the playlists of the channel, and I think it's like 9 videos, like 1 hour each or something. And we do that. I show you the full process to create a character for games, and you can see everything. We do modeling, texturing, rigging, animation, and then we have the full courses in Udemy as well to see that to see the whole process as well. We don't have Gumroad. I don't think we have Gumroad. Most of our courses are in Udemy. Well, all of our courses are in Udemy. The offers are usually there, so you might get the best price there. We also have Skillshare, where you can subscribe, kind of like Netflix, and you can watch as many courses as you want. So that's another option right there. We also do it on ArtStation. So ArtStation also has all of our courses available. You can get them in the platform that works best for you. Yeah, the Fogling, Mateo. That's the one that I meant, the Fogling. Nice, Heisenberg, yeah. Yeah, Nalini is working to make sure that our channel grows through other elements. And I've been like the public face here in YouTube for all of our courses. But we have other instructors. We have Arash Aref. He's doing some very cool like you Unreal Engine stuff. We have Da Costa. He's doing some very cool like organic creature work as well. And we had instructors that are not part of the team like permanently, but they help us every now and then to create like cool looking courses as well. If you know any instructor you would like to collaborate with those, send me their info as well, and I'll be happy to contact them and see if they wanna do a tutorial for us. I think this looks like a futuristic goblin or something. I think I went back to my fantasy to my fantasy roots. 3D Wolf. No, I do not know that channel, but I'm gonna write it down over here to take a look at it. But yeah, there's a lot of very talented people in YouTube, in Twitch. I've seen people in Twitch. I've been thinking about doing Twitch, but I feel like it's pretty much the same that we're doing here. So I'm not sure if it's worth it, to be honest. You guys want a Mr. Nalini back? Okay, I'll tell him. I'll ask if he wants to be here. We did do an advanced modeling in Maya, Omkar, very recently. We did the robot. Where is it? This one. Mechanical creature production. I'll link it here in the chat. So that one we go over. I mean, it's I wouldn't say it's like an advanced thing, but it's a little bit more like high quality. So if you're a beginner to Maya, it might be a little bit intimidating, but if you already feel comfortable, I feel like this is a really strong one, because again, I teach you modeling, texturing, and rendering. So that one might be a good one. Can you make a mouth bag in ZBRUSH too? I saw a tutorial. Yes, of course. The easiest way to do it is just to mask lasso, mask the mouth, mask the jaw, smooth this out, move the pivot point here, just open the mouth, like literally open the mouth. And since we're working with Dynamesh, we could just like literally carve in the mouth. Yeah, we'll do the lighthouse soon as well. The thing is, I've been a little bit absent from the YouTube channel this past couple of weeks, because here in Mexico, I mentioned this before. I mentioned this on Monday. Here in Mexico, we have the Holy Weeks. Most of the country is Catholic, so we celebrate like Easter and stuff, and the schools and everything closes. So the museum, which is one of our big clients over here, we have a huge surge in clients over there. So I was there like pretty much both weeks to help make sure that everything was flowing and running nicely. Yeah, the Holy Week. Thanks, Heisenberg. Thank you very much. So that's how I would open the character, my friend. Like, now we have the mouth back. And it all depends how deep you want to go. What you can do then is polygroup the mouth. so that we can close a little bit easier later. But usually when we're doing bakes, we keep the mouth like slightly open so that they don't like so that they don't impact as much. Popper, that is a great question. So technically I am in the game industry, because most of the things that we do here in the studio, we use Unreal Engine to do them. So we use workflows from the game industry. However, my training and some of the freelance work that I've done has been for film and commercials. Well, mostly for commercials. I actually never worked on a film. I think that's another one of my goals, to work on a film someday. But films is a little bit more difficult to be freelance for films. Most of the film guys are in a studio. So yeah, most of my workflow is for games and commercials. What would the museum need for 3D? Oh, there's a lot of things, man. There's a lot of things that the museum can use 3D for. But for them, we are working on a specific area where we have VR experiences. So we have Oculus Quest, and we have an experience where they go back in time and see the dinosaurs, like a representation of the dinosaurs. So we built that experience. It's called Odyssey, and it's like a 7-minute experience where they travel in time and look at the dinosaurs. Kids love it. They love that experience. And then we have another one that's the Ice Age, where you become a caveman for a day and you're doing some activities and stuff. So yeah. Oh yeah, Unreal Engine is definitely going to be used in the film industry. Actually, a small sneak peek. One of the next courses that we're going to be releasing soon is using Unreal for that sort of stuff. So stay tuned. Stay tuned if you want to learn a little bit more about that. Thank you, Arian. Thank you for your offer. I'll keep it in mind. Right now, I do have an assistant. His name is Isaias. He's been helping me over here. You haven't seen him, but he has been part of my team for the last couple of months as well. It's Caillou from Pacific Rim. No, it's more like a character from Mass Effect or from like Destiny or something. It's like a sci-fi character. Do you play games to this day? Yeah, of course I play games. Right now, one of my favorite games is Monster Hunter. I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter. I played with my brother. Yesterday I was playing Destiny 2. I am looking forward to Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. I do play games. Not a lot, not as much as I did back in the day, but I do play games. On Record. No, I haven't seen it. I'm gonna have to take a look. Have you watched the new Godzilla? Yeah, one of my teachers is working on that. He did the concept, I think, for Godzilla. Or I think it's the concept for Godzilla. So now we can close the mouth. And as long as we don't dynamesh, we're gonna be able to open and close the mouth. But I'm gonna keep it slightly open for now. Something like this. Most of the modeling and the sculpting things that we do have a substance part to them, but we do have some substance tutorials as well. If you, in case you want to watch them, they're in Udemy as well. I think those were done by, oh, I forgot his name, but yeah, we do have substance courses already there. I enjoy them a little bit, Mateo. I have Elden Ring. It's just stressful. I haven't beat it, to be honest, because it does stress me out. And when I play, I try to go for something that's gonna be a little bit more relaxing rather than stressing. What do you think about Unity versus Unreal? Not necessarily which one is better, just interested in your thoughts. For me, as an artist, the Unreal is miles better because I don't need to know programming to create things that are really cool, right? With all of the visual scripting and things, it becomes very like very easy. It feels like working with a Lego set where you just use pieces and create something interesting. And Unity, you do need to know a little bit more about programming because you need to like create most of the stuff from scratch or be able to modify it with specific parameters and stuff, and it's become a little bit more complicated. I also don't like the fact that for Unity, if you want to get like super good results, you need to do a lot of setup. And the Unreal, now with Unreal Engine 5, it just works out of the box, like Lumen and Nanite and all that stuff. It just works. So again, from an artist perspective, I like Unreal a little bit more in that regard. But both of them are really powerful. I have several of my friends that have worked on Unity for several years now, and they've created amazing looking things. So I know it's not a matter of, as you say, it's not which one is better, it's which one works better for you. No! My friends, it crashed. My whole dreams have been crashed. Let's see how far back this was, because I did not save. I did not save, and that's my bad. I should have saved. Okay, it's not that bad. It's before the mouth was open. Let's save real quick because I don't wanna lose any more of this things. It happens. It happens. There we go. Yeah, we got something. We got something. I do have autosave. I do have, but it needs to wait like I think 1 minute for it to work. So it's part of the process. Don't worry. I'm so used to it that I don't get mad anymore. It's just like whatever. We'll just do it again. By the way, for the interior modeling, do you think VR will have more in the exposure? Like when you put those goggles, lets the client feel more what will his man? Yes. Here's the thing, Mike. I'm gonna give you one of our insider like investigations that we've done. VR is an amazing tool. I think from the three like main things: AR, augmented reality, VR, virtual reality, and what other? And mixed reality. VR is by far one of the most powerful ones. However, the cost of doing things is a little bit elevated still. So if I wanted, let's say a client wants to build their house, and I tell them, hey, I'll do you a 3D render for your previews, and they see the pictures and oh yeah, I like the house, it looks fine. And then I offer them, hey, I can do a VR tour of the house, right? They don't want to pay for that. They don't want to pay, I don't know, like $2,000 or $3,000 for a VR preview. They're like, no, I'd rather spend that money on the house itself than on a preview, right? So until we can figure out a way to cheapen that production cost, some things might not be able to jump into the market. We might use that for a big construction like a hotel or something, because $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 is nothing for a huge construction like that. But it is a really powerful tool. So yeah. Topi says, I lost an entire model I worked on for like 6 hours one time in Maya. Yeah. I don't have autosave on Maya. I do have it here on ZBRUSH. On Maya, I'm very used to just Control S every like 10-15 minutes, to be honest, because of the same thing. I have G4 MX series. Yeah, you can use MX. You might not be able to access all of the new tools. Like I think Lumen uses ray tracing, so you might not have access to Lumen. Or you might, I'm not sure. But yeah, you can work with that. Okay, cool guys. I'm gonna be finishing the live stream now because I need to go back to finishing the course, the Sci-Fi Girl course. So let's just do one quick rundown to see if we have anyone else from a different country that's not one of the ones that I'm gonna mention. Because I got this map over here and I'm gonna be scratching out the countries that we have students in. So we have India, Mexico, the US, Greece, Brazil, Bangladesh, UK, Italy, Kenya, Sweden, Uruguay, Vietnam, North Macedonia, Ukraine, Australia, Spain, Argentina, Croatia, and South Korea. If you are from a country that I did not mention, let me know in the comments before we finish today's live stream so that I can add you to our student map over there. And tomorrow we're gonna have another live stream. I'm gonna continue with this guy. Let's add some more details. I think it might be a good idea. Switzerland, there we go. Switzerland. Taiwan, nice. So tomorrow we're gonna continue same time, so 9:30 a.m. for Mexico, which would be like 9 p.m. for India. Make sure to check the time zone you're in to tweak or to tune in. We got the Discord channel, Canada. I know we were missing someone from Canada. There we go. Zach Hyde from Canada. Peter Lin was from Taiwan. Perfect. So yeah, that's it, my friends. Thank you very much for being part of this channel, for supporting this, and I'll be back tomorrow with more ZBRUSH content and answering more questions and being here with you guys. I'm gonna go back to work, and I'll see you back tomorrow. Bye bye.